Good morning, everybody. This is Jed Johnson from DieselCrew.com here, and of course, you know they call me Napalm. Got a little story for you today, guys. When I was about 22, I found out there was a game that my two little cousins were playing in, a Little League All-Star game, and I went and checked it out. And when I got there, they needed umpires, so I ended up being one of the umpires on the bases, which isn't always the greatest time, but at least I got to watch them play, and it was from a little bit different angle, and I'd be out on the field, and it'd be a good time, I thought. So about the third or fourth inning, one of those kids was running down first base. It was a close play, and as I recall, I had to call them out. It was close, could have gone either way, but I called them out. And their grandmother, well, at first I thought it was just a fan, got all upset. I didn't know who this lady was. I don't think I'd ever seen her before. And it ended up being their grandmother. So I let this lady know that if she thought she could do a better job, she could come out and take my position as umpire in first base. And let's just say she stayed right where she was. Now let's fast forward probably close to 20 years here this past weekend. Had a competitor show up who was blatantly bracing implements against their body, which is completely illegal in grip sport. They were saying they weren't doing that I was wrong. However, on each lift, you could see on their pants, their black pants, that there was now chalk on their leg. So how was that chalk getting there if it wasn't being braced on their leg? This happened in the second event, the third event. It was a problem in just about every single event. Why? I don't know. Were they not aware of it? Were they allowed to do that at a past competition? I don't know. This person told me that it made no sense that they couldn't lift the weight on the implement in the second event, the 2 3/8 inch one-hand nightmare, because they had a world record in a similar on a similar implement in the past. And I asked them, is that because you were bracing it against your leg in that competition as well? So that leads me to make a decision. Going forward at my competitions, I will not allow this kind of behavior to take place. This person was disrespectful to me, disrespectful to the people that were helping me with the event, both as judges and as timekeepers. Those people are there to assist me because, we are important in each other's lives, friends, relatives, my wife. I will not allow them to be disrespected. It's one thing to disrespect me. To disrespect people that are there helping me is another thing altogether. Will not stand for it any longer. So I do want to say that going forward, I will be following a 2-minute rest period limit when you are following yourself, whether it's because you're the last person to go, like happens in my case, or if you're the first person to go and there's no one to follow you right away. If you have to follow yourself because the next jump is going to be your weight, there will be a 2-minute rest period. That's it. The person that came to the event was taking up to 5-10 minutes between attempts. Unacceptable. Made the competition go way longer than it should have. I'm going to be following that strictly, as well as the 30 or 60-second time limit for each attempt. So going forward, once your name is called, hey, Joe Schmo, you're up. The 30 or 60-second clock begins. Also want to say, any disrespect towards me, my judges, or my timekeepers, any abusive language, any abusive or questionable practices, anything like that, you will get one warning and then you will be asked to leave on the second scenario. That's all there is to it. I can't allow people that are there helping me to get disrespected either. In any excessive rest periods, if you're not on the platform ready to go when you're supposed to be, you're going to forfeit that turn and you're going to have to start your next turn. That's all there is to it. These rules will be reviewed at the beginning of each competition. And in closing, I just want to say something to all the other promoters. We're in this together. And sooner or later, the competitors in your area will end up in someone else's area, whether it's because they go to a competition, whether they come from their home state and come to Pennsylvania and compete with me, or my regular competitors that compete in Pennsylvania and then go another place, or if they qualify for nationals and they come to me, etc. We're going to see crossover of competitors. So we owe it to ourselves to be as strict as possible with the rules and to have a backbone and make these calls if they're violating the rules. That means you can't allow people to brace lifts. You must require clear lockouts. You can't be giving people gifts with lockout calls. You got to maintain smooth transitions between events and strict rest periods, and absolutely no letting lifters drop down in weight if they miss. That's what warm-ups are for, to test where you're at that day and to give yourself an idea of where you need to be for a safe lift on your first attempt. Your first lift should be a gimme to get you on the board. Your second should be a small jump. Your third should be your goal for the day. Your fourth should be PR or world record attempt. That's how you want to think about things. It's unfortunate that I have to make this video. I did take 24 hours to wait and kind of sit on this. It was a very stressful situation Saturday. I don't want that to happen, and it was stressful for the people, not just me, but also the people helping and the other competitors that were there. So I'm doing this not just for me, not just for my family and friends that were there helping me, but also the other competitors that were there. We owe it to ourselves to do things right, to make grip, be seen as a serious sport. I hope everyone takes it as serious as I do. I really love this sport. I want to see it grow. I don't want it to be a laughing stock by any means. And I don't want people to come in and think they can do whatever they want to and disrespect people whenever they want to either. So any questions, don't ask what I'm talking about. I'm not going to be talking about what exactly happened. I'm sure there were other people at the contest. You can go ask them, but I'm not going to tell you. So don't ask that. But if you have any other questions regarding these types of things that I covered today, feel free to leave a comment below or contact me directly. Wish everybody the best in their training, and hope to see you back at the channel. Take care.